children, we saw about the desert curves, that the places which receives very scanty or low rainfall. In that places, the thorny bushes and the cactus like kikar, babul, these type of trees are growing. This vegetation is called desert curves. The next vegetation is polar. The areas polar vegetation. Tundra vegetation of cold polar regions comprise of mosses and lichens. Here tundra means the place which has no trees or treeless area is called tundra. That vegetation. So without trees, what will grow there? That types of vegetation, the plant is growing very close to the earth. It touches very closely to the earth. That type of vegetation is called polar vegetation or tundra vegetation. Tundra is a place that is treeless. That vegetation comprises of mosses and lichens. Mosses and lichens are the two types of plants which is present in the cold regions, which is grown in the cold region. Then next, yes children, this is very important for us, conservation of natural vegetation. Yes, forests are our well. Plants give shelter to the animals and together they maintain the ecosystem. Yes, of course, we well know forests are the important places for the animals. It provides the shelter and food for animals, as well as sometimes it provides the shelters for the tribal people, and also a lot of things it is provide for us. We saw in the beginning itself, timbers, books, what we are using, books, honey, these types of lot of medicinal plants, everything we obtain from the forest. And also it is helps for the ecosystems, maintain the ecosystem. So it is the important duty for us to conserve the forest. Here, how the forests are destroyed. Some of the human-made and natural factors which together accelerate the process of extinction of these great natural resources. What are the natural resources? Landslide, tsunami, forest fire, constructional activities, deforestation and soil erosion. These are the human and also the natural factors. Landslide is a natural factor for the destruction of the forest. Tsunami, that also natural disaster. Forest fire, this naturally happened by the lightning, as well as sometimes for mischief makers. They are careless way the forest fire is happening. Then constructional activities, that is totally dependent humans. Then deforestation, that also humans only responsible. Then soil erosion, that is responsible by human as well as natural. So these are the landslide, tsunami, forest fire, constructional activities, deforestation, soil erosion, or the human and natural factors. Then how deforestation I told, that is soil erosion I told. Deforestation happen by the soil erosion. The soil gets washed away with rainwater on slopy area in the absence of trees, leading to soil erosion. For the deforestation is reason for both natural and also soil erosion is responsible by natural as well as by the human. Then extinction. Human and natural factors which accelerate the process of extinction of natural vegetation. B. The responsible for this. Yes children, now the government program. How the government taking some steps to conserve the forest. That is, awareness programs like social forestry and Van Mahotsabha should be encouraged at the regional and community level. These steps are taken by the government to conserve the forest areas, and by the people of their own interest they started some movement. For example, Chipko movement. This movement started in 1970, was a non-violent movement. This movement was a non-violent movement aimed at protection and conservation of trees and forests from being destroyed. In this Chipko movement, how the people are protected, that forest means, at that time it is started in the Himachal Pradesh, Tarai forest. All the men went out of the village for their earning. That time, the government went with huge machineries to cut the trees. The women in village, everyone is hugged one tree, and they said to us, they first want to cut them, then only they want to cut the trees. Then later the government went on their way back. So this movement is called, in this way they protected the forest. That's called a Chipko movement. Then another one is, every woman in village, they tied the Rakhi Bandhan to the trees. That means that all the trees are brothers to that woman. This is called community reserve. This is called, this type of forest protection or this type of forest conservation is called community or religious protection or community reserves, we are saying. Yes, children, let's revise. Now the first question for you. Name the products obtained from the following plants: mulberry trees, bamboo and canes, jute plants. I'll leave the first question for you. You want to read your book, your textbook. The first paragraph, give the answer for these three questions. That is, you are taking what you are taking from mulberry trees, bamboo canes, jute plants. Then, why is vegetation considered valuable resources? Yes, you say, children, without vegetation, that living organisms such as human, birds, plants are unable to live on the earth. So it is considered, really it is a great valuable resources for everyone. Then define ecosystem. The plants and animals or the biotic and abiotic factors are interdependent or interrelated to each other, form the ecosystem. Then answer the following. What are major vegetation types of the world? There are three major types of the world. That is forest, grassland and desert scrubs. That polar we are saying it is not treeless area. Okay, so there are three major vegetation, that is forest, grassland and desert scrubs. Then fourth, that is a treeless tundra vegetation. Then name the two factors on which the growth of vegetation depends. That is relief and climate. And that is, we can say, land, soil, precipitation, temperature. These are the main factors. Here they are asking, name the two factors. That is, you want to say relief and climate. Then what are the process of forest fires? How the forest fires are happening? Due to the human activity, human careless activities and by the natural lightning. Then why is the forest cover decreasing in the world? Yes, that also due to the humans. That means they started to clear the forest and making into a residential area and also the farming lands. Due to the growing of heavy population, we need the surplus production for agricultural products. So they started to clear the forest and making that forest area as converted into farming lands for production of the food grain. And in some areas, forests are cleared to set up an industry or for the laid roads. And some industries, forests are cleared for the taking the wood from the forest. For these ways, the forest cover decreasing in the world nowadays. Yes, children. And important for you one thing, You go through your textbook. I given 2 questions for you. Here we saw about the Chipko movement. That is this, that area people protect their forest in their own interest. They not allow the government to cut the trees. So how you will part, or what are the necessary steps you take to avoid that to conserve the forest, to increasing the vegetation in the world. For example, reducing the paper usage. If we reduce the paper usage, the paper we taken from the trees. So that is one method, one step you are taken, reducing the paper usage. In this way, you start your conserve the forest. So I need from you all the what are the steps taken by you. For example, another one example, you want to give a plants as a gift to the school. So in this way, how you conserve the forest, you want to write and give the answers to me. Then here, I already said to you, name the products obtained from the following plants. What things you get from the mulberry tree, what things you get from the bamboo and canes, what things you get from the jute plants. These things. Okay, children. So now you again listen. The natural vegetation, major natural vegetation, the plant kingdom, all the varieties of plants growing without the help of human aid and also undisturbed by the human. That is natural vegetation. There are major tree vegetation types over there, that is forest, grasslands and the desert curves. In the world there are 5 types of forest, that is tropical, evergreen forest, tropical deciduous forest, desert forest, mountain forest and mangrove forest. And some natural and human are the responsible for the forest desert, that is deforestation or destroyed the forest. That is some natural things we saw: soil erosion, landslides, tsunami, forest fires and earthquakes, some others. Okay, children. Okay, you go through your textbook and answer things which is given in the book bag, activities, everything. I made the answers through my WhatsApp. Thank you, dears. Take care. Bye.